interview between us if I didn't ask you what's the latest movement on the Spawn film. You know that I'm the biggest champion for that.
Yeah. So not a lot different probably from the last time we talked. I've read, so we have a script, right? There's a script, but the writers are like, they're not quite sort of satisfied with their own work, which is what all of us creative people are. We put it on paper and then we criticize ourselves. So they're going through sort of an extensive sort of rework and rewrite of it. And so I was just on the phone a couple of days ago with Scott Silver, the guy who's sort of manning the lead of it right now. He's also the writer of Joker 1 and Joker 2. Um, so we're all planning and hoping and moving towards having this done so that we can take it out, so that we can find our studio finally pre Joker launch, Joker 2 launch, which comes in October, I believe,
Mhm.
around New York Comic Con, right? So, but we have to have that script that everybody is signed off on, and is like, this is it. This is the movie we want to make. And we're it's interesting because I have these great conversations with Scott Silver, and he he is so, like, I wish everybody could hear the conversation because he is so impassionate about what he's talking about. He is so engrossed in what he's doing. When I'm at his place in person, which I've been a handful of times, he, like, when he talks, he closes his eyes and he's just so engaged, right? So it's not like he's just like, I'm just trying to get it done. He's so wrought up to wanting to do something meaningful, that it's just not a good guy versus bad guy story, right? He's just
Mhm.
like, I can't, Todd, I can't, and that's it. So he's just like, I need to do this, and we got to do this, and if we will work this, then we can do this, and it's like, but I just want the ending to be like unsettling and strong and have some meaning and some purpose, not just that the good guy won, right? That's sort of like, it's too easy.
Mhm.
And so he said the other day, and he said a lot of things. I should write them down because he's got some pretty good quotes. That it's like, I'd rather take a swing and it be too big of a swing than to not take a hard enough swing at it, right? And so again, he's going, maybe we took too big of a swing on Joker 2 because we got the music in it. Who knows? We'll find out. But
Right.
he's that mindset that it's like he's kind of fearless, and he doesn't want to replicate what he knows is sort of the safe, probably predictable, probably uh, you know, path that most people would go because it's the proven path, right?
Mhm.
Just wants to bend it. He goes, we're gonna do R-rated and we're gonna do it, and it can't be mini Marvel and mini DC. It can't, right? So he's just adamant on this. So hopefully we'll have that all done and get there. I know that he said the other day, but sometimes he just says stuff where I just go, well, maybe we'll just wait and we'll go in after Joker 2, and it's a big opening for Joker 2. And he's like, no, we'll do it before then. So okay, well, that tells me we can only do it if we've got a script. So in his mind, like, we're all going for that. So that sort of sets the stage. My guess is somewhere between sort of San Diego Comic Con and New York, that space in between there. That if we're near the end of that script, that's our sell window. And if that's true, then we would, that headline would come out somewhere in between there. So that's where it's at. I've read the first half of it, the rewrite, and it's, if you're looking for something different that you go, no, not what I thought, then this is the script. So I don't know. We'll see. What I do know, Chris, and I keep saying, and I don't think I'm going to be too far off, is that Deadpool and Joker 2 may be the number one and number two grossing movies of Hollywood this year.
Hmm.
Cinema, just cinema. And if that's true, then Hollywood, replicates. And so everybody will go, oh my God, we got to do, it's not comic book movies people are getting a little sort of complacent with. It's, we need R-rated this is the commonality between Deadpool and Joker 2. What's the commonality? Comic books, R-rated. So they're going to go, man, we got to get comic books that are R-rated. I know Hollywood's just going to shift and they're going to go, Marvel, dig up all your R-rated stuff, right? Get ready for Punisher, right? Here he comes. And DC is going to do the same thing. They're going to pull out all the things that could possibly go into R-rated. And then Hollywood as a whole is going to be doing the exact same thing because they're going
Yeah.
to see the data. And then they're going to go, man, I wonder what R-rated comic book property is available that has some meaning.
Well, I mean, I would say that just by the fact that Disney's letting Deadpool be R-rated, it's already leaning that way, right? They're already starting to go that way. So, yeah,
Well,
I think
again,
you're
Chris,
right. Yeah.
the first couple were R-rated already,
Right.
right? It's just that they also had, I mean, and again, not an insignificant number. They tapped out at 850 million for an R-rated movie,
Right.
which for a while was the record, right, in cinema history for R-rated. It's just that that was getting lost against the backdrop of these $2 billion, $1.5 billion Avenger
Yeah.
movies, right? So it was like, oh man, Aquaman's making the billion. Oh, okay. But we live in a new world now, post-pandemic, post-strike, right? A lot of things have shifted in the buying habits and the frequency that people are going to theaters, and they're trying to figure out how to get people back into theaters in a meaningful way. Well, if they see that the data says number one and number two were R-rated movies that sometimes Hollywood is sort of abhorrent to, because they know that it doesn't make as much. It's like do PG-13 and then do kid stuff. If they see that those are number one and number two, then they're going to pivot. They're going to pivot because they want to make money, and then they're going to pivot hopefully to, I think it's almost a given, they're going to pivot to R-rated comic book stuff and try and mine it. At a time when I think the biggest available R-rated thing by far that they can buy that has any meaning is going to be Spawn. It's been staring them in the face, right? They're gonna, if they do their work and they look at it and they pay attention and they vet it, they're going to see that there's like Spawn, and then it's a precipitous drop if you want comic book sort of superhero R-rated stuff. He's built for it. He's been built for it, and he's staring you in the face at the time you're looking for it. He's available. Oh, by the way, not only is he available, but you can also go to where people make money. One of the people that is going to make money is a guy named Scott Silver, who may, fingers crossed, be the only guy potentially who's written $2 billion movies. Two. The only other guy would be James Cameron, but he did it with PG-13 movies with Avatar, right? So there's only one movie that's R-rated that's ever crossed $1 billion. That's Joker 1. And if he does it a second time and he stands alone, I don't know, maybe Deadpool might get there, but if it doesn't, then, and he stands alone with 2, if not, it should get close, hopefully, then everybody in Hollywood also who needs money is going to be looking for money makers. And he's going to be one of a handful of people in recent history that's a moneymaker. He's a $1 billion baby. And oh, by the way, get the $1 billion baby and ask him what he wants to do. And when you knock on his door, he's going to hold up the Spawn script. And it's R-rated comic book stuff. You're also looking for that. Those two things are going to converge. So we, either unfortunately or fortunately, I don't know, I guess it depends on how you look at it, Chris, we have waited so long and had so many interruptions with the pandemic and the finding the right people and the strikes that we might just be in a catbird seat. When those collide, when we go, we got Spawn, you're going to want it, the number one R-rated project you can get for a comic book, and the only guy who's ever written R-rated $1 billion movies. They're both in the same spot. It'll work. It'll work. So the question is, who who wants it, and what's the deal going to be. So we'll get it done, Chris. We're gonna get it done right now. I feel more confident now at any point in the process, given all the dynamics that are there right now. So
I'm excited, man. I can't wait for it. But that's great. That's great news. I love that, and I think you're spot on. So but you've always had a good head for this stuff. So
wow, no, no. Hollywood likes to replicate. That's not like anybody can see that, right? Rom-coms work. They make 10 rom-coms, right? So kid movies work to make 10 kid movies. R-rated superhero movies work to make 10. They'll make 10. Spawn is just going to be one of them. Again, we'll have to perform and we'll have to work, but here we go. Let's do it.